I'm Mark Cunningham, and I'm a partner in the firm of Cunningham and Sherman. Colleen was in a pretty terrible traffic collision. The collision occurred at the intersection of Herbs Road and Avenida de las Flores in Thousand Oaks. And she was coming back from a trip with her family. She was sleeping in the front seat of the family's Honda Pilot vehicle. Her husband, Michael, was driving, and they had their two small children in the back seat. But on their way home, suddenly and without warning, a young teenager driving a BMW, pretty inexperienced young man, for whatever reason, made a left turn in front of them as Michael was traveling at a safe speed, but he had no time to avoid the collision. The surgery that Colleen ultimately had, and it was a major surgery, her past medical expenses were very low. And one of the reasons being that she had an artificial disc replacement in her cervical spine. And for whatever reason, the health insurance company declined the procedure, thinking it was experimental. It started out as a trial case. In fact, we were assigned out to a courtroom in Pomona. Now, before the first trial, I had the opportunity to share my PowerPoint presentation that was prepared by DK to counsel, so he knew what I was going to show the jury. I had slides that showed the crash, showed the biomechanics of what happened to the neck. DK did something really interesting where they took a picture of Colleen, made a graphic of her that looked like her, so that the jury would be able to associate how the neck moved, how it was injured, and the dynamics of this crash on the spine, looking at this anatomical model that looked like her. And then they did some really nice timeline graphics, which showed all the treatment that she had had before her surgery. Every single visit with every single provider, over every single day and every single month and every single year. And we had graphics showing how I was going to defeat those arguments. And we did it in a very powerful way that made it easily understood by the jury what they were going to argue and why that didn't make sense in this case. The defense attorney approached me before we were going to get assigned out to another courtroom and said, let's mediate the case. I think he was very concerned based on how I was going to present the case and how I was going to diffuse the defense arguments. So he asked us to go to mediation, which we did, and it ended up settling the case. How do we get cases resolved without jury trials? And how do we use companies like DK to help us resolve cases instead of waiting another year and a half plus for a jury trial? And so my thinking is we've got to start using mediations as our jury trials. And we have to start persuading adjusters of the merits of our case. Extremely responsive, easy to work with, and I would not hesitate to use them again on a serious injury case, because I think in this particular case, it changed her life.